Hi, it's Crypto Guy in South Africa here. If you've been paying attention, the Tron has launched a new website, if you want to call it that. The focus isn't today on the website, it's actually about a competition entry for a new Explorer. But the new Explorer is only going to be submitted into the competition by Sunday. But due to the website being launched today, the developers just said, hey, what the heck, let's just launch tonight to go with the new look and feel, and we take it from there. So just to give you an idea, this is the new website launch. It's got 15 days countdown to the main net. If we go down, if we talk about the competition that I'm talking about, if we scroll down, we can see there's a little bit of information on the Pro contest. And if we go to this page, we can see detail about the Pro contest. Basically, Tron has gone out and said, they'll give developers X amount of reward in cash if they develop something or if they're the winner of the development. So any developer can come forward and they can develop one of these categories. So it could be a blockchain explorer, a wallet embedded with Google Chrome, wallet based on Windows, a wallet based on Mac, or iOS, Android. So I'm going to be talking about an entry today for Blockchain Explorer. The developer behind it is known as Rovak, or full name Roy van Carthenbron. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but I think everyone calls him Rovak for short. That's his handle on everything, whether it be on GitHub, whether it be on Slack. Most of the stuff he runs by Rovak. If I'm correct, he stays in the Netherlands. He is a developer for Tron. And what he's actually done is he's on the side gone and made his own new version of the Explorer, and he's going to be submitting that as part of the competition entry. And he has released it earlier for us, or leading up to the competition. So if we look at it, when we say Explorer, this is what we're referring to. This is how the old Explorer looked. It was pretty simple, got the job done. You can see what's going on. But now let's have a look at what his new one will look like. So we can go to the new Explorer. So is he loading? There we go. Now it's loaded. You can see it's a lot more graphical. It's got some numbers moving there. If I move the mouse over here, you can see this moves and does some nice coloring. So you can see it's a lot more graphical. We've got a search bar, which you can search them by address, block height, transaction height. We get counts on online nodes, block height, transactions height. Then if we go over here, we get more information again, which is great for us to scroll down. And then over here, we can then get a little bit more info. So we used to have a blockchain info, but it was very basic. We didn't have as much info as now that we have. So we can go to the blocks. You can see the data there. We can go to transactions. So to give an example, the transactions, you never used to see this hash ID, whereas now we can see that hash ID, it's exposed. So the hash ID for every transaction. We can go to stuff like statistics. It's a lot more graphical interface, graphically showing the information in graphs, whereas the old one didn't really have anything like this. We can also then go to live. Now what is nice or unique about this live is it's going to show live transactions here on the right. Those transactions are going to be filtered by what we see on the left here. So if I filter by transactions, it will only show transactions. If I have all of this on, whatever comes through is going to populate here on the right. But it's obviously based on what is now on the network. If there's no transactions coming through, we're not going to see anything coming through, whether it be transactions, witness, votes, that will then come through over there. What we can then also then do is go to nodes. All right, so the nodes, we've got a map. So before it was didn't have a graphical map or show in the color of the world, if you want to call it that. But whatever the key features here is, now you can click on it and it gives you information about the country and the IP that it comes from. If we go then to representatives, this shows us a little bit more info. What is nice about this website is it automatically tells us the status of the node. Now there's a problem on the testnet now at night. Or tonight specifically, but usually everything's running smoothly, and if everything's running smoothly, all the delegates that are in sync would show in green, and the delegates that are not in sync would show with a cross. So immediately we can see if you're in sync or not, whereas the previous one you had to look at the last block, what is everyone else on, what is the highest block number and what are you on, and if you're in the range, cool, you knew you're in sync, or you had to log into your machine and see if you're in sync. Whereas now we can immediately see like this on your screen, and then we can see all the info a little bit more easier. Then you've got your tokens, we've got our markets, again, very graphical, we can see a lot more better. We've got our votes, we'll come back to the votes, we've got tools, we've got news. If we go to the news, it's just a little place where we can add info about stuff as it comes out, like a little blog post if you want to call it that. And here you can see the first entry is about the functionality that is new. So have a look at here. I will be showing some of this functionality. So if we go over here, one of the new pieces of functionality is is the wallet. Always had a wallet, but there's new functionality within the wallet. So if we say create wallet, we can see that now we've got this wizard, whereas before we didn't have a wizard. You would just have a page. Then here we can enter a password. We can go next. Then you can download an encrypted key. So before it didn't used to ask you to download an encrypted key or key store file. We can go next. You can also then get your private key, but also a new piece of functionality is to print the actual physical paper wallet. So it's paper wallet, print it, and there you go. And then we can go next, and then you're done, and you can say go to the account page. So now here on the account page, got similar info as before. What we can then do is request Tron for testing. We say okay. I'm going to request Tron again for testing, and then we say okay. Then immediately we can see we've got a 20,000 balance. What we can then do is freeze, and I'm going to say I want to freeze 15,000. And I'm going to say freeze that balance. And we say okay, and then you'll see we've got a 15,000 balance of freeze and a 15,000 that's unfrozen. And then you'll see that we automatically get some notifications here of the received transaction. So that's also pretty new. We didn't have that before. We go to the wallet. We got an icon that's generated based on the account ID or how the account sequence numbering in there is generated, and we can see high level, you know, how much Tron that we've got normal, how much is frozen, get a little bit of info. We can do our send and receive from here, so that's all there. And then, but what we can now do is we can go and vote. So let's have a look at that vote functionality. Now we've got a countdown to the next vote cycle, which is pretty cool. We never used to have that before. We got a total number of the total votes, and if we scroll here, we can then see the people we're going to vote, and we can see how the percentages of the votes are spread across, whereas before you couldn't see it too easily. You would just have the numbers. We still have the numbers, but also a new piece of functionality is we can click there and we can see a little bit more detail about that account. Now, whether you do it from there, you could have done it from there, you could have also done it from other places. If you clicked on the account, it would have gone into, or if you searched by an account, it would have came into here. So we can see transactions linked to the account, we can see token balance, we can see produced blocks, we can see votes. What is also pretty nice is all the people that have voted for the super representative. So that's pretty nice because we're getting an idea of how many people have voted for him, the weight, the percentage, and all of that information. But let's say we want to go back to votes. Let's go back to votes. It loads. I can now say start voting. Now, over here, what I can do now is I can say let's vote for 12,000. I can then submit my votes. It shows I have a remaining of 3,000, and I can say I'm done. All right. But let's say I wanted to vote again. I can say start voting, and what is nice is it keeps the entry, whereas before it didn't keep the entry. So I can have 12,000 there. I can then maybe put 2,000 here, and then maybe 1,000 there, and then I can say submit votes, and all my votes are used, and I got the spread, and if I go in there again, it will show it. So as you can see, there's some enhancements to this. It's looking better than what we used to have. It's more visually appealing. We can also change between light and dark. And then I'm going to end the video by showing you a very nice theme that we can add to this. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You know, let's see if you guys can figure it out. But basically, we can switch to a theme that has a very strong Tron look, like from Tron, the actual movie, and you can get a good look, and it carries through on all the tabs. So a very nice, cool look to it. And yes, so that's summarizing most of the new functionalities that's come through. This isn't the final submission. This submission was meant to be on Sunday, like I said, but he's, Rovak has decided to release it early, and leading up to the final submission date, release a little bit more functionality. And he's got some interesting pieces of functionality that he wants to add in here. So this is not even his final product, but this is what he's planning to submit, plus a few extra features that we'll see coming out in a few extra days. So keep tuned and keep attention of what is going to be coming into this.